Let's go outside. The snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman.
Labs rīts! Labs rīts jūs mājās no mūsējām, ir 6:30 no rīta. Man sauc Andris Lanka un šī prāta rītros. 1025. reize, kad mēs tiekamies darbdien rītos. Tiešraids mums ir Facebookā un YouTube, un sarunas šajos agrijos rītos mums ir par un ap uzņēmēju darbību. Paldies ikvienam, kas mums iekomentējat, joprojām algoritmu rūķīšiem patīk jūsu komentāri. Un šorīt mums būs īpaši viesis vakar. Ielidoja mūsu sadarbības partneri no ASV, un, kur piedalīsies šīs nedēļas nogalas pasākumā, kas mums būs piekdienas vakar sākot, piekdienas vakar, sestdien, svētdien par laulību un attiecībām. Tāds it kā liekas netipisks ar liekas uzņēmēju darbību un attiecību seminārs, bet tur ir baigi daudz, kas viss saistīts. Tā kā viņi ielidoja, un mēs arī attiecīgi pavadam laiku kopā, pārunājam dažādas lietas, un es teicu, zini, kas ir mīļais draugs amerikāni, būs jāceļās agri. Tā kā es jau saulaicīgi atvainojos tiem, kam angļu valoda ir vēl tāda iesākuma stadijā, jo turpmākā saruna mums šī būs, laikam, pirmā prātā. Nē, šī nav pirmā. Mums vienreiz bija, kad ASV intervēja vienu āmiešu uzņēmēju, tad mēs tur kaut kā daļiņa bija angliski, bet jo mūsu saruna turpināsies angļu mēlē, bet un tulkojums diemžēl nebūs. Un cerams, ka sapratīs, es mēģināšu kaut kādos brīsniņos kaut ko varot iestirpināt novienkāršotākā valodā, bet visticamākais, kad kad saruna raisās, tad saruna raisās. Tā kā studijā laipni lūgt Jackies or Quinn. Jackie, here we are. Say ciao.
Ciao.
So, good to have you here.
It's good to be here.
On our show. This is the first time I have a live American at 6:30. This is your what? Fourth time in Latvia? Third time?
We were trying to count yesterday. Third or fourth? I don't know.
I think it's third. I think it's a third
I think
time.
third, yeah.
But we already have plans for several more. Yay, Latvia! Jackie comes from a warm place, and so that warmer place. So, of course, for him, it's a challenge to be here. But as we were talking this week about social media, we'll continue with that because you have a social media channel that a lot of people could learn from. And so, what is it about? When did you start it? And all the jazz.
My channel is it's a cryptocurrency channel. This is a big deal. I don't ever discuss my channel typically publicly in any platform with my actual identity, because if you ever see my channel, then you can obviously see
here,
that.
Yeah, we're seeing your channel at the moment, so it's Crypto Wealth.
Yeah, so you can see that it's not actually my identity or anything, but I started because I had a passion primarily about this topic related to cryptocurrencies, and I knew it was a niche topic. I started probably in 2017 is when I started it. And I really wanted to create awareness. The original intent was I wanted to create awareness about this technology, and I wanted to do my part to do that.
Okay, well, 2017. This is at this point it kind of seems ways back, but at the same time it wasn't. And so the first big thing is there probably were already people talking about that subject.
Yes, absolutely.
Why did you think you have a say or that you could make it? Because at this point, when we're looking at your stats, you have more than 30,000 subscribers, which is not a small feat.
No.
And
there's a lot to unpack in those subscriber numbers, just so you know. Like, they've been relatively stagnant for the past year because I've uploaded a lot less. I've done a lot less with the channel. But the value of this channel, like, it's one of my biggest business and personal assets above all else. So, go back to your original question. The reason I thought that I could, because I studied, I knew enough about marketing and business, and I studied enough about social media to realize that it's a bit of a myth that because there's a lot of people and a lot of competition, it's hard to break into. Quite honestly, from one perspective, it's easier to get started if there's a lot of people talking about it, because on social media, audiences are crave the content. Like they binge watch content they're interested in. So even if there's someone with like, 10 million subscribers, which I don't even think there is in this niche, but when they get done watching their content, they're looking for someone else's and someone else's. And the algorithm is helping push your content to those types of audience, to those people that are likely to like it. So I knew that I knew it was possible to build. And then there was a matter of how to make myself get discovered. But because you definitely want to get started in a niche or an area where there are already a lot of people talking or whatever. You don't want to be the only one talking about a topic.
It's interesting. It's kind of counterintuitive. It's like where you're thinking, oh, well, all these big people are talking about it, so who's going to watch my videos? But and you decided that you're not going to be showing your face.
Yeah.
And so, like, if we scroll through these videos, we see thumbnails, but we don't see.
And the thumbnails are ugly, as my friend Andres pointed out to me.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, they're let's call them basic.
Oh, very basic.
Fundamental.
Fundamental. That's such a nicer word.
That's a nicer word than basic.
No. Yeah, I never showed my face. So the story behind that, people think that was some sort of incredible strategy. It's kind of turned into a good strategy. But the original intent behind that was I was building a different business under my personal name, my personal brand in the home business industry. And so I was getting a lot of people started in business, people started making money, and I didn't want them to, inevitably, in that industry, when people start to struggle, they look for excuses or reasons. And I didn't want them to see my face and name and brand as something else, because at the time, this was purely a hobby, 1,000% a hobby. So I didn't want them to find my name and brand and for some reason say, oh, that's how he's making his money, because I wasn't making really any money at all at first. So I didn't want anyone to use that as an excuse. So I didn't go on camera or anything, and I just shared my screen. And now it's kind of been fun having a different sort of a whole separate identity, if you will. I don't have to worry about, at 30,000 subscribers, like people get noticed in places, and there's pros and cons to it. I would probably get a lot more offers to speak and teach if I showed my identity, but I also don't have to worry about getting recognized in public for this type of
because you don't have your name on there as well. Like
no, not at all.
It's all just the topic, like crypto wealth, and it doesn't say Jackie O'Quinn. It says the topic, and then so how long did it take you to until you kind of saw that, okay, man, this is kind of making sense? Yeah, the first, let's walk through first year, second year, third year.
Okay. Well, the most important thing to probably know is in the beginning, I learned so much because I didn't care in the beginning as much. I didn't care as much about growth. I didn't care as I really was just passionate about the original content. Now, if you look at my content, it's a lot of stuff about, oh, I made money. And that's because that's where the audience, those are the early days.
That's the first, what is Bitcoin? Who created Bitcoin?
Yeah, and as you can see, they got, 54 views, 100 views.
100 views.
That's after all these years. So
that's
originally,
So
originally you put up a video and it got like no views or one view, because I didn't even tell anybody. In fact, if I got one view, it was probably Andres or my wife.
I do remember the time that you were pushing it. I was like, I had the, I did. Yeah. Thank you for reminding. I was actually helping. This is how you should be helping actually your friends who are starting on social media. You should watch their TikToks or Instagrams just because.
Because the algorithms will push you eventually, but the hardest part is getting that initial traction. So a lot of you, if you have a brand already, if you have even just your personal family and friends on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, and you decide, hey, I want to start building a business, then you want that brand to be very focused on your business and separate at the same time, content wise. But excuse me. But you don't want to so you're going to need some help, is what I'm trying to get at. You don't want to mix up your brands at all. Now, and there's a whole lesson there. We don't have time for all that, but let me just say this.
One things, not cross-pollinating topics, and but it's,
you don't want to, because if your audience, for example, is showing up to watch cryptocurrency, I'm also very much into travel and cigars and business training for the average individual. If I mix that content in here, the way the algorithm works is it's going to show cryptocurrency content. Then what's going to happen is all of a sudden they're going to push one of your videos out there, because YouTube's trying to figure out, do they love the creator or do they love the content? Well, most of the time people are watching for the content purely. And so what will happen is all of a sudden they're going to see my video about cigars and like, I'm not interested in that. And when they stop watching it, it's going to tell the algorithm they're less interested in his videos on his channel. So you want to stay very much on trend or on topic. And you very much want to, when you're small, specifically on YouTube, I think YouTube's the best platform on the planet. That's just my bias, obviously. I know you guys are killing it on Instagram and everything else, but I'm in love with YouTube. The thing about YouTube specifically is you need to get your audience engaged and sticking with you, and it's a longer form content. But in the beginning, you said, how did I break out? I just started, first of all, I was hungry and I was researching, how do I get my videos out there? I knew people needed to see them. So I just started putting up content. In the very, very beginning, it was just about, I need more content up. I need more content up. I need more content up. And so I would just make videos, and I was making videos daily. And at one point, you know, I was growing by 3,000 subscribers a month, but I was putting up videos every single day at that point in time. And they weren't long. They're never fancy. Watch any of my videos. They were not fancy.
Let's talk behind the scenes. To put up one video on average, is you got to read about the stuff. You got to research it. Knowing you, the research type, you're going to go back to Adam on the topic, and then at least push play and then upload and whatnot. So what does it take?
Okay, so the advantage to doing low tech type stuff, review on my screen, helps a lot because I didn't have to. In the beginning, I didn't even edit my videos. I mean, at all, and I just recorded it and uploaded it. I would say, if to research a topic, let's just say on average a couple of hours. Sometimes it can be 4 or 5 hours. Sometimes it's 30 minutes because I already very much know what I'm talking about. But let's just, and then to organize the video, let's say 3 hours in your mind to organize it. I don't personally have scripts, but I now make bullet points on what I'm going to talk about, and I'll have notes sitting beside me. Then I record it. That's usually 10, 15, 20 minutes. Okay. And then edit it, and I do basic edits now. It's like removing the and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And all right, probably 5 or 6 hours start to finish. I don't ever feel like it takes that long because I really enjoy it, but it's probably 5 to 6 hours to do a video.
Oh, man. That is a lot.
That's a lot. If you're going to say from start to finish everything. Now, the fastest, I've also done 3 videos in a day because I'm in this space. Like when I'm at home in my place, like I'm in this space every day. So I don't have as much research time.
Well, and then you can break a topic into some subsections and that.
And I've even broke videos, like record one video and it's really long. So part of the way through, I realized this is going to be 2 videos.
Okay.
So then I've done that too.
All right. Wow, man. It makes me feel better about myself now because this show doesn't take me 5 or 6 hours.
No, so
it took me 20 years to learn the things to talk about, but then, yeah.
So live is advantageous by a lot, and that's something I keep telling myself I'm going to do more on my channel is go live. And when I go live, they just see my screen, by the way. But the reason I want to go live is
this would be like us talking now. Yeah. Like this is us talking behind this.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. But when I go live, the cool thing is people still interact with you.
I can put our logo up now, and then nobody sees. But they're here. We're here.
The thing about social media that people don't understand who aren't into it, one of the reasons it's so powerful is because you truly have a real impact on an audience, no matter the size. So you create a celebrity effect on your audience, meaning they look up to you, they like you, they at the very least like you because they spend hours watching your stuff and listening to you.
Well, and they trust you too.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I when I had a small channel, maybe 1,000 subscribers, another YouTuber had 1,000 subscribers. This is the story of the first time I recognized the celebrity effect. He said, "Hey, I'm going live," and he's just ranting about news and the crypto stuff. And he's like, "If anyone wants to talk, just give me a call," and call the guy up on the phone, and he didn't know me from Adam, right? And I'm watching him on his channel, and he's like, "Hey, who's this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Crypto Wealth." And he's like, "Nuh-uh, shut up." And I was like, and I knew he watched my channel because I seen him comment on stuff. And he's like, "Shut up." And I was like, no, really. And he was like, I said, "You just commented on my video about such and such." And I responded back and said such and such. And he was like, "Oh my goodness, guys." And he's on the live stream, like, "Oh my goodness, guys, it's really him. I got him on the phone." And then it hit me how much it meant to him to be talking to me. And I realized, man, this is way more powerful than I realized, putting up this content.
Yeah, that's an additional actually element that helps both in sales and marketing of your brand.
Yes.
Because people have seen you, and their perceived value of whatever you're doing is greater simply because they have watched you in action through videos, be it short videos talking about your brand or showing how you do things. Like in our case, showcasing a few tips and tricks about how to learn English immediately positions us much higher than, or at least to the point that people are like, okay, I can trust that person with my time and money. And so that's why with whatever subject that you're involved with, there is probably somebody from your field on social media, be it YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and they are talking about your topic. It's not. I don't think I cannot at this point imagine a topic that people are not talking about on social media. That's the company or an individual is not displaying and showcasing, and it probably pays them well. It has a good effect.
Yeah, two tips I would give is, first of all, on social media, tutorials always work well. And people are
how-to videos, yeah.
How-to. People are always, and I do a lot of those personally, and a lot of people are afraid to. Industry news does well also, but people are afraid sometimes to teach how-to. They're afraid they're giving away the farm. Okay. But a lot of your customers,
explain for my fellow English learners, to give away the farm means that that's all I know. That like you're giving away everything you know, and you're like worried that, okay, well, how am I gonna make? How will I make money then? For what will I be selling then later? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in most cases, what you're going to end up doing is just position yourself as an expert. Okay. Most people are really not trying to do everything themselves. So like if you were, in construction and you're teaching to build roofs, the guy's worried, well, if I teach them to build a roof, they'll go build it themselves. That's not how it's going to work, even on much smaller topics.
That's actually a very good example. Yeah.
But what's going to happen, there's going to be some guy to go build his roof himself, but he would never be your customer anyway. But what's going to happen for most people is they're going to be like, wow, he knows what he's talking about. I want to hire this guy. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The other thing is, in the beginning with social media, you guys blew up. Like, you really blew up.
We did.
I did not. I grinded forever. You can go look at my video numbers and see it. But here's the key with social media. And I already knew this in past business. But social media proves this so much. In the beginning, you will work way harder than it is worth. In the beginning. And that's the stage that most people never break out of. But if you stay the course and you keep building, and I always tell people, like, once you start, pick one platform, try to master that platform, research everything you can on growing on that platform, and typically you can go to YouTube and search it for free, honestly. Just watch recent videos because algorithms and platforms change. But in the beginning, it works. You work far harder than you ever will get paid. It's not profitable. But later on, you will get paid way more than you should for your efforts. Like, to put up a video now is identical to what it was before. The difference is sometimes I get paid $300 or as much as $1,500 to put up a video. I get ad revenue that adds up, and that's just for doing the same video. I'll give you a real life example in cryptocurrency. The biggest influencer I know of had a sponsor that they were trying to negotiate. He has 1 million subscribers, and his channel has since all drama and dramatic.
Oh, okay. So we don't want to go there.
But this reason, but because it was drama and dramatic, and it's kind of fell apart, and he's had major issues with business partners, they've been talking about these numbers, and I was like, wow, this is what new people don't know. So he talked about getting started, and he blew up within a 3 or 4 year period. But he had 1 million plus followers, but they had one particular sponsor that was paying them $1 million a month just to read their little 30-second clip. $1 million a month. Here's the crazy thing. When they started negotiating with that sponsor, they started negotiating meaning himself and his company, at $100,000 a month. And one of the employees said, no, they'll pay us more. The employees got paid a 5% commission to land a sponsor. The employee went behind their back, without them knowing it, negotiated $1 million a month, and then brought it to them so the employee could get 5%.
That is a good employee.
That's a great employee. That employee's going nowhere. But that just goes to show you, because I'm certain there are other people using the exact same sponsor, and they're making $1,000 a month.
Okay.
For just doing essentially the same work.
So sticking to it pays. It's a long-term game. Be be it YouTube. YouTube, I believe, does pay better in the long term because we do view YouTube as an evergreen source, like Wikipedia. Like, there's a reason why YouTube is the second most searched site, and so I can't imagine really looking up historical videos on TikTok or Instagram. That would be a pain.
Credibility, right?
Or a pain just in the search. Whereas on YouTube we can go by different, most popular and the oldest and what. Yeah, so it's easier to kind of get to the topic in the research. So, okay, sticking to it, and it will pay. Did you search out for sponsorships and brand deals yourself, or they would just?
Yeah, they just come. I still get them. I'm certain. I probably got an email yesterday. I get emails, even now uploading once a week. I probably get emails a couple times a week. Maybe there'll be a period I'll get something every day, and I'd turn 99% down. But no, my biggest sponsor ever was Crypto.com, and they came early on, and I had a very long relationship with them, and it was fun to work with them. Mm-hmm. But as long as, like, there's a way to contact you, like you have an about page up there, and my email address is up there, and as long as people email you, then and they absolutely will. People know how to find that stuff. I don't even know where it's located. It says about somewhere.
Should be saying. Oh, it's probably somewhere here.
Yeah, probably over there. You're right.
Channels. No, the channels are later. Okay, here's
right there, about.
Here's the about. Yeah,
there should be an email address up there somewhere. Is there?
And that's what, if you push, then we're not going to do that now.
That's fine. So, by the way, right there, I've never seen that. There's 2.2 million views. That just blew my mind. So here's what's crazy about that. When you realize the number of human eyeballs that have been impacted by your content, that's what people don't realize. Like how impactful that is to people and how much of an effect you have on an audience. That's pretty crazy to even see that number. August 2nd, I didn't realiise.
Yeah, August 2nd. That's your birthday. That's your channel birthday. We need to celebrate that.
Yeah, that's a big deal, actually.
That is a big deal.
So, by the way, another thing that happens in social media is you change your content. Notice my stuff is a lot on like investing and stuff like that, is because it's what my audience tended to care about. I have not updated that page. I need to update it, but it's what my audience tended to care about. So that's where my content started going. I care more about the technology and the fundamentals and the news around it, but it doesn't get the same views. So you got to kind of sort of gravitate a little bit to where the audience goes, staying within your core belief systems and your integrities.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep it short this morning, but actually, we're good on time now. But great example. Another social media platform that I personally don't do much on, well, except for the music project that we have. But other than that, we have the morning show also airs on YouTube and it stays there. But that's just like and we do that actually for YouTube because it's easier to see the archive because as you said, that there are people that binge watch, that like they start watching one show and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna jump on the next one and the next one, and it's much easier on YouTube. That's why we keep the archive there, and then live we are also on Facebook. But it's another reason, another explanation that how and why you should consider and then make your part of your plan to be talking about the thing that you are an expert in on social media. And that's going to help at least something. I mean, in the worst case scenario, if all said and done, it hasn't made you millions yet, but at least, let's say, if this was the last time you're doing it, Jackie, let's say, and you look back at this and you're like, okay, this was my time doing this show on YouTube, what would be your like, but I still like this and that and the other thing?
Well, okay, first of all, I could never imagine not doing it, just for the record.
Yeah.
I can't even, you have no idea, I can't even fathom. Because if cryptocurrency somehow went away, which is never going to happen in my opinion, then I would end up shifting to talk about something else, finance related or whatever. But
you've done more than 1,000 videdos here. Like,
I worked hard for that channel.
Like 1,100 videos.
I worked hard for that channel.
Yeah, it's just like my morning show. I gotta keep. Gotta catch you up. Like I have 50 or 60 videos less. Well, about 100 that I need to do. Then,
catch me.
So it becomes engraved in you.
Yeah.
Like,
what was your question though? What was my big takeaway?
Let's say I'm done with my morning shows and you're done with your YouTube. Like for me personally, I would still look back and think, man, I got to practice the speaking part. I got to do the topics much deeper. What would be the takeaway besides the money? That you would be like, yeah, this was worth it.
First of all, the money it's just not about the money. It is about the money. I want to grow income and build a business, but there's so much more to it. The ability to truly understand my domain skill. Like I didn't necessarily recognize I had a domain skill, and I need to thank you for. There was a time when I almost shut my channel down because I thought it was a distraction from my other business because it was a totally separate business, and it was just a hobby. And I was a year and a half or 2 years in, I don't know, with a couple thousand subscribers or something. And you sent me a Marco Polo and said, I just want you to know you weren't doing anything really on social media at all yet. But you saw the value of social media. And you were like, I just want you to know it's incredible that you have this many YouTube subscribers. I think you need to keep going. And I thought, maybe he's right. I don't need to give it up. So thank you for that, because I probably would have shut it down for this. So,
I don't even remember that. I should look up my Marcos.
I was sharing it with my wife. Like I almost didn't have this. So you give good advice sometimes.
Okay, let's keep it at this. Okay, well that's how we're gonna end the show today. Andres, so the big takeaway. Andres sometimes gives.
That's the big takeaway. Andres gives good advice sometimes.
Yes, sometimes emphasis on sometimes. Okay,
you become an expert. For me, it was ability to explain complex topics sometimes.
Okay.
And it was also learning things about my own industry. There's so many things. I would say 2/3 of those videos, if I had it to do now, I actually wouldn't do them. And that's a crazy thing to learn, because you start learning what's more important, what's really important that you're talking about.
I learned English best when I started teaching it.
Yes.
So, and that's, if you don't want to do like, we're talking about carrots, okay? So what motivates. And so sometimes this also can be a good enough carrot in itself, that I will just know the topic better. Because you have to study more. You're not just going to be going on air and talking about your feelings about the topic, okay? So you want to read, you want to research, and that is a great benefit, actually.
I got just one shout out to an audience that doesn't typically hear English. I know that because I watch these lives and I can't watch them because I can't understand Latvian. I just got to say this as a native English speaker about Mr. Lanka. And I've told him this many times. When I first met him and had a personal, I've met him several times, but we eventually connected over a weekend, and I had several conversations with him. His English skills are some of the best for a non-native speaker. Some, and probably better than some native speakers.
Thank you.
But truly some of the best I've ever heard. And I'll tell you why. Like, I don't know what even the proper phrase is in English, but earlier when I used that terminology about throw out the farm or whatever, or give away the farm, and you were able to catch that, I didn't realize I was using, obviously that's not a common thing you'd want to say to a non-native speaker, but Andres knows like all the jokes and all the innuendos and all the stuff that non-native speakers never catch. Even professional guys, even teachers in the States, even people who are learning a second language or a third language, they never understand this stuff. They never catch it. And you always, as an English speaker, I'm always sensitive because I've always known a lot of non-native English speakers. So you're always like, oh, apologize, and you'll have to correct yourself or try to watch what you say so you don't create confusion. And Andres always, rarely is there something that he doesn't catch or doesn't understand. And I'm always blown away by it.
I'm having you on my show tomorrow, so you're too good.
It's the honest to God's truth. It's amazing.
Thank you. Well, we'll end at that. This is great. One of my most favorite shows. So, I hope you guys liked it. This is something unusual for us to be talking in English, but I definitely loved it. This is great, back and forth. And so thank you, Jackie, for waking up so early. Coming up. And so, yeah. Paldies jums par šo rītu. Cerams, ka visi forši un sapratāt arī daudz lietas. Ja nē, tad es zinu labu valodas skolu. Bet tā, ejam, darbojamies. Forša diena sākusies un tiekamies rīt. Ātā?